Want help to grow your business? Download Bryn, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit bryn.ai or search the App Store today.
I'm Rebecca Herworth and welcome to Networking Made Simple. Today, I'm going to be taking you through my Getting Started guide to business networking. The simple things that you can do to really get going when you're completely clueless and terrified of networking. Don't worry about being terrified of networking. In fact, it's something that most of us hate doing. There is nothing more terrifying than walking into a giant room full of people, not knowing anybody, standing at that edge and going, how do I start talking to someone? There's a small percentage who are okay in that situation, but it's really small. So please, straight away, take some relief at knowing that you're the same as everyone else. Networking is terrifying for most people. To give you an idea of why I'm here talking about networking today, I'm a business owner. I own an architecture practice, and I started my business at the start of the GFC. Not a great time to start a business. But for me, I found that I really had to explore some different ways to get people in the door and to start sharing my business and what I do. During the GFC, I found that business was different. People's trust was really shaken. And so when you're looking at building trust, sometimes an online platform isn't the best way to do it. 9 years ago, I started exploring networking, and I found that during a poor economy, when trust was really lacking, that networking was a great way to build my business. Moving forward 9 years later, and networking built my business and allowed me to become what I have today. So I'm going to share some of those tips and secrets that I learned along the way to really help use networking to build my business. So the power of word of mouth is really what networking is all about. It's about getting people talking about you. And there's some great stats to actually support that this works. According to Nielsen, 92% of consumers believe recommendations from friends and family over all other forms of advertising. 92%. So you could spend all your time and money doing things in an online world, but 92% of people will believe their friends or family over all that other effort that you've done. And I've actually seen this happen quite a lot. I had a friend that I overheard this conversation. She was talking to another friend, had decided to use a particular business for some services that she needed. I believe it was business cards. And that friend, this person was almost signed up, that friend said, "Oh no, I've heard terrible things, don't use them." Straight away, she went, "Oh, okay," and changed her mind. So all that networking, all that work that they'd done went to nothing. 92% will believe family and friends over all other forms of advertising. Andy Cockburn, who's CEO of Mention Me, also has some stats on this, and he looked more so at incentivised referrals. And he found that they can increase customer acquisition, so your new clients, by up to 20%, and you will see a 25% higher average order value. So that means that for all that same effort and work to get a client in the door, you're going to get 20% more conversions, and they're going to be spending 25% with your business, 25% more than they would if they'd come from another form of advertising. So these two stats alone should give you reason why you want to be doing networking for your business to bring clients in the door. So to start today, I'm going to take you through my 3 golden rules to networking. The first one is that you're not there for you. And I know this sounds counterintuitive, but it's really important to understand you're not there for you. You see the people at a networking event who are in it only for themselves, and you watch them. They'll walk around the whole room, they'll want to shake every single person's hand, and they'll hand them their business card. "Hi, I'm such and such. I sell business cards. Here's my card. If you need new business cards, come and see me." That's not what networking's about. Networking is about building trust and building relationships. And if you go in there thinking, what can I get out of this? Why am I here? Then it's not going to work. So first of all, you have to pay attention to the fact that you're not there for you. You're there to build relationships with other people. My second golden rule is to know your aims and goals for your business. It's really important to understand what your business is doing, where it's at and what it's working towards, your business's aims and goals. Because without that structure behind you, how do you know what you're doing at a networking event? How do you know what an opportunity looks like? So it's really important to have that background strategy behind you. Now, if you're not a business owner but you're an employee, this can still work. You still need to understand what the business is doing, where they're going and what they're working towards. My third golden rule is to have a regular pattern of networking. So you can't just suddenly do networking one day and expect work to come in the door the next day. You can't do nothing for 6 months and then madly do a stack of networking events for 3 weeks and expect something to happen. You can't wait till there's no work coming in the door and then go out and start networking and expect something to happen. So to get networking to work, you need to have a regular pattern, be doing it regularly and be doing it often. In my opinion, I think probably one networking event a week, every single week, is a good standard. I normally try and do maybe 2 networking events a week as a standard, knowing that if I suddenly have one really busy week, I can probably drop back just for a week or 2. But you want to keep to a regular pattern. Now, a lot of people do that kind of a few and then give up and say it doesn't work because they're scared, because they're nervous. So when you don't have the skills, when you're not practiced yet, it's easy to cop out and to just go to a few and go, oh no, it doesn't work for me. The other important thing to understand with having a regular pattern of networking is that a lot of these things in networking take time. It's a longer pipeline than some other sales funnels. I actually like that in my business because I know if I stop networking right now, say I'm sick or say I go on holidays, I've still probably got a 6-month pipeline of work coming in the door from the last 6 to 12 months of networking that I've done. So it is a longer pipeline, but that's why you can't just suddenly go, oh, I've got no business today, and then start doing 3 weeks of mad networking and expect to fix that up, expect to get the results from that. You do need to do it consistently over a longer period of time. So they're my 3 golden rules to networking. You're not there for you, know your aims and goals for your business, and have a regular pattern of networking. Do it often. With those 3 golden rules behind us, I'm now going to take you through my 10 basic networking steps. Now, these are really easy, simple things, and they're things that you can do to get started right now. So if you're one of those people who's really scared of networking, who hates walking into a room when there's no one they know, or who continually cops out and kind of doesn't go in at the last minute, pulls out of networking events, then these are my 10 basic steps that are really easy to give you something tangible right now to be able to walk into a room with confidence. The first of my 10 steps is to be the first smile that they see. Smile, 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 and welcome. It's amazing how this tiny little thing can achieve such big impacts. In fact, I find that by not doing this, you can do the exact opposite. And I've had a situation where I walked into a networking event and there was one person in that room that I already knew. She turned around and made eye contact with me. I straight away went, great, she's recognised me, she knows me, there's going to be someone in the room I know. She then turned her back and continued to talk to the person that she was already talking to. How do you think that made me feel? All she needed to do when she made eye contact was put a smile with it and I would have felt welcomed and invited to go over and talk to her. But instead, by turning away without smiling, instead, she took the negative of that. She completely turned that situation into a bad situation where I then felt snubbed. I felt that I didn't like this person anymore. And funnily enough, to this day, I've never given her a referral. The positive example of that is many networking organisations will actually have a person on their door to greet you, a dedicated person who's there to welcome visitors, but also people who are already part of that networking group. And this is based on the same fundamental. When we see visitors who've been to a networking event for the first time and we interview them afterwards, it's interesting to see who they remember. They've met a whole room of people. They might remember the guest speaker. They might remember who was leading the group. But normally the first name they give is whoever was on the door, whoever gave them that first smile, that first welcome. Now, I use this quite a bit for my business. And if I'm going to a networking event, I'll either deliberately hover around the front door to be able to be the first smile and the first person greeting people, or sometimes I'll even volunteer to be a greeter on the door, to be that first person that they meet, that first smile that welcomes them into the room. If you're really nervous, sometimes you can forget to smile. It's such a little thing, but it can come across sometimes as rude, sometimes as arrogant. So no matter how nervous you are, calm down and don't forget to smile. My second basic step is to wear a name tag always. Most networking events you go to, they'll actually write out a name tag and give it to you. And I see people walk in the door and take it off or stick it on their leg or somewhere else. Please keep your name tag on. It's really important. So important that I actually had a name tag made up, and I often wear it to networking events or to other events where I'm not sure if they're going to be giving out a name tag. The benefit of having my own name tag made up is that it's a talking point. It's amazing how often people will walk over and say, "Hi, you must be Rebecca," because they can see my name tag. And they'll straight away go, "Oh, you've got a flash name tag. Why have you got one of those?" And guess what? We're now having a conversation. So a name tag can be an important talking point. But the real reason you're wearing a name tag is to help that person you're talking to remember your name. There's so many people they're going to meet at a networking event. You want to give them the best chance possible that they will remember you, that they will remember your name. So you've probably said it at the start of the conversation, but normally they haven't heard it. They will have forgotten it because they're a bit nervous, they're a bit uncomfortable. And by the time they realise that they're really interested in what you do, they've already forgotten your name. If you're wearing a name tag, they've got a chance at remembering you and looking you up. If you don't get to the point where it's appropriate to swap business cards, even better that you've got a name tag, because now they can see the spelling of your name to potentially look you up later. When I talk at industry events in the construction industry, this is in fact one of the things that I discuss with them. And I often tell plumbers, electricians, people on a construction site that they should be wearing name tags too. Because there are so many different people moving around, it's so much easier to build and maintain a relationship with someone when they're helping you to remember their name. We meet so many people, don't assume that people will remember your name. My third item on my basic steps is to dress appropriately. Now you notice I don't say dress professionally, because I do think this is different for different industries, for different people at different levels and different backgrounds. So I wouldn't expect a builder to wear the same thing as a stockbroker. I think it's absolutely fine to dress in different outfits, but I would also expect a builder to have different standards of outfit. So if a builder is going on a construction site, there's one level of appropriate dress. But if a builder is going to meet with $1 million client to talk about their $1 million project, then the outfit he wears on the construction site is not appropriate. One of my good friends, she always recommends that you should dress for the job that you want to win, because you never know who you're going to be sitting in front of. You never know where that next awesome big job might come from. So dress for the job that you want to win, not knowing what opportunities might come. When you go to a networking event and when you're new and you're a bit nervous, have a look around the room and see what other people are wearing. Straight away, that gives you a base level of understanding. And if you're dressing for the job you want to win, this takes you away from dressing how you might feel comfortable. And to start with, you might feel uncomfortable perhaps putting on a suit jacket if that's not what you normally do, or perhaps putting on high heels if that's not what you normally wear. But you need to make sure that you're presenting yourself in a way that says, I am capable and confident and able to do the job that you're looking at giving me. If your outfit says, actually, I'm just a stay-at-home, work-from-home mum and I'm not really serious about what I do, that's a problem. You can be a stay-at-home mum who's doing some mumpreneur stuff, but you still have to dress like you're capable and competent to do that job. My fourth step is to meet new people. And I see this a lot, especially if someone's got a little group of networking people that they...
To continue enjoying this presentation, download Bryn, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit bryn.ai or search the App Store today.